Next up is Eric, your last movie, rounding out the rear. What is Sleep about? And tell us about it. Is it worth a watch? Oh, by the way, before you get to your review, it's written and directed by Jason Yu. It stars Lee Sun-Kyun, Jung Yumi, and currently it's 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's in theaters and available on digital Friday, September 27th. Eric, go ahead with Sleep.
Yes. Yeah, the director Jason Yu, second unit or assistant director for Oakjaw. So this is their directorial debut. Their IMDb is pretty sparse otherwise. This movie is a South Korean movie. And as history has shown us time and time again, South Koreans know how to make they crack the code somehow. I don't know what it is, but or maybe, who knows, maybe South Korea's got a bunch of really crap movies and they just don't send them over here.
Right.
That could very well be it. But everyone I come across has been a banger, or at least damn good, one of the two. This is definitely banger territory. You got a husband and wife, and the husband, he sleepwalks. At first,
you're not going to sleepwalk anymore. We just got the VHS Beyond screener.
There you go.
sorry. Go ahead.
There you go.
Sleepwalks, yeah.
But he wakes up one day, and he was scratching the crap out of his face, and it's like bleeding, and he got to put a patch on there. Like, what the hell happened? He's like, oh no. The wife, she stays up late and she like watches them like do all sleepwalking stuff. And like, well, let's go to the hospital, get you patched up and everything. And then, they just kind of ignore it. And then the sleepwalking things kind of get progressively worse. So the next day he wakes up and his wife follows him, and he walks over to the kitchen, opens it up, starts like eating a bunch of raw meat and like whole fish heads. Like he grabs an egg, just like bites right into it.
Okay, that's disgusting. It sounds like a disgusting movie.
I mean that part certainly was. At least cooking medium rare. But at that point they're like, this is getting a little out of hand. And then he goes back to the room. And instead of going back to bed, he opens the window, or the window's already open, and he leans out of it. And she's got to catch him to keep him from falling out the window. And then so at that point, they're like, we got to go to the doctor. This is you literally almost died. Like, we can't do this anymore. It's like, yeah, let's go to the doctor. And they go to the doctor. And he's like, we got these drugs you can take, and cut out alcohol, go to sleep at 10, do all these things, and this should mitigate the sleepwalking problem. And they even got up to a point where he's like sleeps in this sleeping bag that basically ties everything inside, so he's basically like a human worm. He can't move around. And they try that, and he ends up getting up one night, and so the wife's pregnant. And she has a baby, and this sleepwalking stuff has been getting progressively worse. She brings the baby home, and the husband, now a father, is starting to look into different houses. Like, look, here's a place, and we can lock me in and do this and this, and you and the baby stay here, and then I can visit during the day. And basically, he knows that I don't want to do anything to our kid. And then, so this is kind of where the drama comes from. And then they introduce, you ever know anyone that's like, oh, you have cancer? Have you tried essential oils? As if that'll do anything.
Right.
She starts getting desperate for anything. So she starts going for like a holistic medication. She starts going towards people, like her mom knows a shaman. And then so now his progression of like, kind of coming out of the sleepwalking thing kind of coincides with all this holistic stuff that may or may not actually be working. It kind of has something to say about that. It's like, is that holistic medication working, or is the stuff he was doing actually working? And you're leaning more into this holistic medication because it started taking effect when you started doing, like, is it just a coincidence? And then it kind of goes on from there. Maybe I already said too much, but it doesn't matter, because I think a lot of this has to do with the characters, their journey, and all what it says about just kind of falling into that sort of propaganda or mind rot that, those kind of fake cures have, even though it doesn't have a lot great to say about that. It also is true about, like, sometimes you get doctors that just don't know what they're doing. That's why it's good to get a second opinion. Like, hey, if the doctor's telling you to do this, this, and this, and it's not working, go to another doctor. See if you can get something else. Probably don't go to a chiropractor or a shaman, but at the same time, this is a movie, so it also kind of plays with the idea of maybe the shaman stuff is working. Maybe this is all spiritual and not physical. Maybe that's actual part of the actual life, or maybe that's the point of view of the person. Hard to say even after finishing the movie, but this one's good. Do not sleep on Sleep. In fact, I would say check out Sleep and then chase it with Plan B. That'll kind of bring you down a bit.
Interesting.
Because they're both relationship movies. Just one's Sleep's like really dark, gets really intense. Plan B is also dark, but it's more lighthearted. Yeah. Watch them both. They're both fantastic movies, and they'll, or maybe start with Plan B. It's like, yeah, it was a little too light. I wanted something darker, and then watch Sleep, and then stay awake all night. I would go to Sleep, then Plan B, but that's just me.
So this is okay, cool. So that is Eric's review of Sleep. What is your rating on Sleep? It's going to be in theaters and on digital Friday, September 27th.
I would go 4.5 on this one as well. It doesn't go as hard as like something like Missing or Sagasu does,
Ooh, I love that movie.
Or even like Bong Joon-ho's movie like Parasite or Memories of Murder. It does, even all the stuff that I mentioned, it goes further into that. It again, like I think this is kind of a hallmark of just South Korean movies in general. You have the movie that you think you're watching, and then it always adds that little extra or goes in a little different direction that you're kind of like, oh, didn't know it was going to be this kind of movie. I'm glad it's this kind of movie now.
Did the ending surprise you?
I mean, I don't know how anyone could see it coming.
Okay, very interesting.
It's like once you get that, it's like most South Korean movies. Once it gets there, I'm like, I see how you got here. But starting off the movie, there's no way you're going to say, oh, clearly it's going to go this direction. It almost never does.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. Can you imagine one day once we're making our millions in cinematics, if we ever go to some kind of South Korean film festival and just hang out there for a week and just watch South Korean films? Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, this is where all the crap movies were.
Oh,
they were hiding them from.
Yeah, right. No,
but yeah, I'm sure there are crap South Korean movies. I'm not coming across them. That might be a gatekeeping thing. I don't know, but yeah, Sleep, another banger to add to the wall.
Okay, so that is two really solid recommendations. 4.5 stars for Sleep from Eric Holmes. Again, in theaters and on digital Friday, September 27th.